Alright, good morning everybody. This is a video that's going to show us how to get a histogram from group data. Okay, so as you can see, I already put all the data into the calculator. The way we do that again is to go Stat, select option 1, Edit, and then put all the numbers in this case in list 1. Okay. The original data was here. We've got 35 values. If I'm in my list and I push the up arrow, it takes me to the bottom. I can select this entry, list 1, the 35th value is 63. Hopefully they're right. I double checked them, so they should be. Alright, so once the data is in, we're making a histogram. We want to know what's the width of our intervals. So in step 2 here we have some suggestions: 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 10. So those are the conventions that we're going to use when we make the graph. Again, the data is in. Once that's the case, we're going to make a stat plot. Okay, and before you go to the stat plot, I'm going to check my y equals menu, make sure that there are no graphs in there. I don't want them being graphs as well as the stat stuff. So those are clear. Now I'm going to go to stat plot by hitting second y equals. Okay, takes us to this option. I've got a plot 3 that's on. I want to work in plot 1, so I'm going to hit number 4 to turn all the plots off, and then hit enter. Okay, now if I go back to stat plot, they're all off, and I can edit the one I want. So I'm going to select plot 1, hit enter. I'm going to turn it on. Again, the type of graph that we want is this histogram. So I'm going to click over 2 times, hit enter, and select that. And if you'll notice now, the X list and Y list is gone. We've got an input for X list, which is our list 1, and we've got an input for frequency. That's just asking how many times is that input occurring. And so since we put every individual value in, we'll just keep this at list 1 and keep the frequency at 1. If we wanted to change the list number, right, say we wanted to use list 2, we can hit second 2. You can see there's a blue L2 above that, and then the calculator will use that list to plot the data. But we want list 1, so I'll go back and change that, second 1. All right, color will be blue. And then here's the other thing: rather than just hitting graph, let's do a zoom, and we're going to select option 9 for zoom stat. Okay, gives us a histogram. The problem is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 intervals. We want to set this up so that we get these intervals: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go to Window, and we can look at the X-min, the X-max, the scale. So these are the things that we want to change, right? So right now X-min is 50. That's good. Let's make the X-max 100. We'll go down and change that. And now for the scale, well, that's kind of like the width of the interval. So we have interval widths of 10 here. So I'm going to make the scale 10. The Y stuff, I guess we can leave alone. You know, maybe clean this up a little bit. Let's make this like -1. And let's make this 12. Okay, but the big thing is to change the X-min, X-max, and the X scale. Maybe the Y-max if you have a column that's going higher than your grapher can show. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to graph. And actually, look what happened. Got one graph that's too high, one column that's too high. So back to window. Let's change this Y max to, let's do 20. Alright, nice. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can actually count the scale here and know what the Y values are. Go back to the window a second. We started with Y min is -1. So actually, to make this a little bit cleaner, I'm going to make this 0 so it's easier to count. Okay, so that means this first interval, right? Values from 50 to 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 11 values, right? And you can do the rest for all these intervals. One final thing, if you hit second graph, sorry, not second graph, if you go to trace, right, it'll tell you the min and the max. So this is saying that these, the values in here are going from 50 to a little bit less than 60. It says that there's 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can hit right. Values from 60 to 70, not including 70, or 13, 7, 4, and 1. Okay? So, if you really want, you can go back and check the original data right here, see if those values are right. But it should be. Okay, so that's how you make a histogram, and you can choose the group widths of each column of the histogram the way you want.